What's up, everybody? It's Karl, aka Karl Drum Tech, and today let's talk about how you can get your drumline to respect you and to get them to do what you need them to do by being friends with everybody. Cue the music. Alright, if you guys are finding me for the first time, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. There's a red button down below that says subscribe. That way you're notified first anytime I put out a new video in regards to marching bands, the marching arts, drum lines, indoor percussion, drum corps, all that good stuff. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a single upload. Also make sure that notification bell is ringing. That way you are notified first anytime I drop a new video. So make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell, and let's get to the video. Okay, so how do you get your drumline to get them to do what you need them to do, right, by being friends with everybody, okay? Because let's face it, the notion that if people hate you, if people are mad at you, if people don't want to be your friend, like, that's somehow a sign of being a good leader. I'm sure you've heard of that, okay? But what I argue is that you can be friends with everybody, okay, and get them to do what you need them to do. Get them to respect you, okay? So what that means is, and the misconception with, being friends with everybody and nobody wants to listen to you is that, okay, so because we're friends, you're not gonna yell at me. Because we're friends, you're gonna let me get away with certain things, right? So there's that friend code where it's like, all right, I am absolved of any crimes. You're gonna let me go with certain, let me have some leeway. You're going to allow me to do whatever I want. Okay, so that's the misconception. That's the misconception. Okay, but I argue that you can be friends with everybody and still expect certain things from them. Expect them to step up, right? Because you can be friends with somebody and be like, yo, because we're friends, hey, let's be good together. Hey, let's step up. Hey, let's make sure our music is learned, right? And then still not let them get away with not learning their stuff. And the key phrase here is that you have to be positive dominant, okay? So what's the opposite? Negative dominant, right? And that's what most people fall back on, is like, if I can get people to do what I need them to do by being negative, by yelling at them, by punishing them, by talking down to them. And then for the most part, yes, that does get results. People do tend to step up because they don't want to get shit on. They don't want to get talked down to. They don't want to get yelled at, right? So people want to step up at a certain level because of that negative feedback that they don't want to get, because it feels bad to get that, so they want to avoid it, okay? And yes, that can get results. There's no denying that, okay? But isn't it a better experience for the person of authority and the people around them, right? The people they're influencing, to have a more positive experience if the person of authority is more positive, if they're more encouraging, if they're more motivating, okay? There are many examples of great leaders in the world who are very positive dominant, okay? They get people to do what they need to do, but they are very positive about it. Yes, there are some negative people in history who have gotten people to do many horrible things, okay? But that does happen, okay? But for the most part, you want to strive to be those great individuals who are very positive and gets people to do what they need them to do. So what's an example of being positive dominant, right? So somebody's not learning their music, okay? You can be negative dominant, be like, what the hell? Why aren't you learning your music? Like, don't you want to be good? Like, you obviously don't want to be good. Like, you obviously don't care about this drumline, okay? So there's so many things going on there, right? So many, like, connotations there, right? Like, even just things of, like, shoving guilt down somebody's face, okay? So the other way is like, hey man, like, you didn't learn your music, it's all good, but we got to get it next time, all right? So come on, let's go. Like, you can do this, okay? So that's an example of being positive dominant. It's like you're not being passive, okay? You're still telling people what they need to do, but you're being very, like, you're just not negative about it. You're just, you can still have a smile on your face, like, hey, let's go, like, and we're friends, right? Like, you and I, we're homies. We're in this together, right? So if you don't do your part, like, we're all gonna suffer. So let's not have that, okay? So I'm telling people what they need to do, but at the same time, it's still being very positive, okay? This works in so many situations, in life situations, in work situations, in, like, anytime you're around a crowd of people and you want to, like, lead a conversation, there's so many, like, benefits to being positive dominant, okay? I'm not saying positive passive, okay, where you're just like, Oh, you didn't learn your music. Okay, that's fine, and we're still friends. Like, like that's not what I'm saying. Okay, what I'm saying is you have to influence people in a positive way, and you can do that, okay, without yelling at them, without punishing them, without talking down to them. Okay, again, it's so easy for people to fall down that trap. It's so easy to just be like, to yell at people, to be negative, to just talk down to people. Like, maybe people have, we all have certain experiences of that in our lives, and then we see that it does get results, okay? But I argue that the next level of evolution for us as people is to inspire people, to motivate people in a certain way by being more positive, by being everybody's friend. Like, your friend, we're all friends. Okay, now that we're friends, okay, now let's accomplish something together. Let's accomplish something great together. Does that make sense, right? It's not about like letting people get away with stuff. It's not about like, you know, giving people leeway or giving them a pass if they don't do something right. You still tell them what they're doing wrong. You still tell them what they need to do, but you still do it in a positive way, and you can smile and you can be friends with everybody. Does that make sense? Okay. So one last thing I want to talk about is, you know, what if I don't have the confidence? What if I, you know, like don't feel like a leader yet? Like I don't feel like, you know, I've grown into that role, or I feel like, you know, maybe I'm not good enough. Well, for one, okay, you have to practice. You have to make sure that, you know, if you're going to tell people, hey, like, you need to make sure your flam drags are clean, you need to make sure you can play flam drags pretty good, right? That's fair, okay? So there's no faking that, okay? And speaking of faking, okay, what you need to do in terms of your overall confidence is that if you don't have that yet, okay, you have to fake it till you make it. It's one of my favorite phrases, okay? It's like, even if you don't have that confidence yet, you want to make sure you show the body language, you show the aura of somebody who is confident, and then you will grow into it, okay? Because what tends to happen is, right, people who are confident, they have a certain body language about them, right? They speak with a certain tonality, all right? But if you don't have that yet, like, how do you get that, right? You have to fake it, right? So pretend you are somebody of authority who does deserve respect. Like, have that body language of, okay, you know, chest is out, you know, head is up. You speak, like when you speak sentences, like you have a downward tone versus an upward tone, right? Like, should we be doing this? Maybe you should learn your music. That doesn't sound confident, right? Maybe say, we should learn your music. Let's go. Let's get this rep. Here we go. There's a downward tone, right? That's somebody who is very confident. Okay, so try that out. Okay, the tonality in your sentences, how you end, like have a downward tonality when you end your sentences. That's gonna have, you know, that's gonna show authority. That's gonna, you know, tell people like, oh, okay, this guy knows what he's talking about. This girl knows what they're talking about. Okay, so if you have that, you don't have that confidence yet, try that, and then try again, getting your chest out, you know, head up. Okay, look people in the eye. Okay, that's also a very important thing. Okay, and then what eventually happens is, like, if you don't have that outside feedback yet, right? Obviously, yes, it's hard to have that that confidence in yourself. But, right, what tends to happen is, because you now have that physiology of somebody who's confident, okay, you're gonna start to feel it a little bit, and then what happens is, what you might find is that people are gonna start to say, hey, you're doing a good job as a leader. Hey, you are getting us to do stuff. Hey, you are, you know, getting us to play clean. Okay, and then there's a positive feedback loop, right, that feeds itself, where it's like, yes, I'm confident. Okay, now I'm hearing that I'm confident. Okay, yeah, I'm even more confident now, right? So now there's a feedback loop of you getting more and more confidence. And that is how you start earning your position of authority by faking it at first if you don't have that inner confidence yet. Does that make sense? Okay, so lesson for today, let's recap, okay? So to get people to do what you want them to do, you can be negative, you can be condescending, you can talk down to people, you can punish people verbally, physically, right? Or you can look in the eye, smile, and say, hey, you still gotta get things done. Let's go. You can do it, all right? So you're still being very dominant, but it's in a very positive way, okay? And it's by being everybody's friend. Like, yo, we're homies. We're in this together. Let's get better together. And if you're not doing your part, like, we're not gonna be able to do that. So come on, man, let's go. Okay? It's as simple as that. So I challenge everybody who is an authority figure, who's a leader, session leader, drum major, staff people, whatever the case may be, I challenge you to find ways to motivate everybody around you by being more positive, dominant. Does that make sense? And be everybody's friend, okay? So, cool. that is all I have to talk about today. Thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys did get something out of this video, please make sure you hit that like button. If you have any questions or comments would like to add to this conversation, leave it in the comments below. And like I said, if you have not subscribed to my channel yet, make sure you subscribe. Like I said, it's the red button down below. And if you feel like this video can help somebody else out, all right, somebody who maybe it's a leader who is being very negative, like, don't show this to them like, you're being negative, watch this video. Just kind of nonchalantly be like, you know, hey, this Karl drum tech guy, like, he has some really cool videos, check this one out, right? Just be very sly about it, okay? And then maybe they'll consider everything they're doing just by watching this video, okay? So if somebody shared this video with you, sorry, they were kind of sly about it, but hey, you know, just consider this video, consider what I'm saying, and yeah, I challenge you to get everybody to do what you need them to do by being more positive, okay? Cool. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. You guys should watch more of my videos by clicking over here and subscribe over here. Peace.